Hello everybody, welcome back to Cougar Talk Weekly with Cougarisbae. This week we're gonna have some fun and interesting topics to talk about. And of course, the housing contest winners are going to be announced today. Isn't that wonderful? You guys have been waiting a long week to figure out who is the winner. We had to scale things back a little bit because some of our judges were not able to judge the housing contest as quickly as we anticipated. But don't worry, folks. We actually have the winners, and it's going to be a pretty awesome time. Alright, so with every Cougar Talk Weekly, I go into the forums and I just look and see what people are asking for. And this one is pretty awesome. Somebody says, I want an opal fishing pole. I mean, I think that's pretty awesome, to be honest. A skin on the poles for fishing would be pretty cool to have. I mean, I know it's like very cosmetic and it can get a little bit crazy, but why not? Like, you know, it would be fun to have a skin fishing pole. And this KS Brook is saying probably high time we get a skin for a fishing pole, even if we have to go scrying for it. That would be pretty cool. You know, yeah, you're tying it behind a DLC, but why not? Go scrying for it. That way I can show my drip even when I'm fishing. Nice blue glows or flames coming off the tip. Sparks, anything. Even butterflies flying around the tip. Something. And somebody says, I would enjoy a fishing animation pack where it gives us unique animations and maybe we'll whistle a song, pull out the fish with a flourish, something different and fun. I like the ideas of butterflies, maybe crows that peck at a bait bucket or worms. Devoted fishers would eat that up. Lots of endgame fishers are whales. That is true. A lot of people that fish in the endgame are very known to be whales. They have a lot of money. And then somebody says fishing skill line and outfit styles would be great. That would be cool too. Fishing skill line, like why not? We kind of have a little bit of that in the CP tree, where you can, you know, reel and all that shenanigans. Well, why not put that into an actual skill line? You know. And guess what, Sauce? You can charge for it. Come on now. Like, if you do the same thing like with the Mages Guild and Fighters Guild and the Vampire and Werewolf line, like stuff like that. Come on. Somebody says, I love the fishing pole skins in New World. I mean, I love fishing more than in that game, period, but not the point. And I would love to see some added to ESO. Honestly, any of these ideas would be pretty cool for the game. My friend and I always go after the fishing achievements together, so we would both love to see them and add a bit more to fishing in general. It's true. You know, it's stuff like this, even if it's small, that would get people excited about something as crazy as fishing. You're literally standing there and flipping the pole back and forth. Come on now, give us something. This is all pretty awesome. And, you know, it's a good thing. So, the next one. Please let companions level faster. Oh my god. That is so true. Silver Bride says, I have my companions with me all the time, so they get every bit of experience they can. Even if I don't need their help at the time, I have to take them to Dragonstar, and I hate arenas when I have experience scrolls to power level them. Yet my Ember is just level 16, Isabel is 14. I haven't even started leveling their rapport yet. Please allow our companions to gain experience from quests. I don't mind putting in some effort into leveling them, but this is crawling at a snail's pace. To be honest, I do agree here. Quest would be pretty awesome. I understand why they didn't do it, but come on now, like, this content's out already. Let us at least gain, even if it's very minuscule, from quest. Like, just let us do it. It would actually make it to where a lot of people could go find that companion quests in all of their characters, just to have, because you can do writs with that and get some XP from there. But yeah, this needs to happen. Necrotech Master says, I would agree, those last 5 levels take far too long, where the early levels are so fast. I think it literally takes 10 XP to get from level 1 to 300 to get from level 2 to 3. Whereas the quantity of XP needed from level 15 to 20 is like 3 full DSAs with 150 XP scrolls. If you always have 150 XP scrolls outside of a double XP event, it takes about 6 to 7 full DSA runs to max level companion, which is about 1 hour each. So that's like 6 to 7 hours just to level 1 companion. It's a little bit of a grind. I agree, only getting XP for kills, which means no Dolmen XP, no Quex XP, makes them level too slow in the last 5 levels they needed. And, the Silver Bride says, I only take them to Dragonstar Arena when I have the 150 XP scrolls, which isn't that often. I've never been able to completely solo these, but I can make it far enough to get me through the hour scroll last. But that is an hour of mental torture for me and shouldn't be the only way to get a decent experience for them. I agree. I really do think, maybe add dolmens into the mix. If anything, something, If you don't want to add quests, put us in dolmens. Like, a lot of people like to go in the Alakir Desert dolmen run. Like, do that, please. So the next question is, so whatever happened to that Q&A? Folks, it's sauce. Mr. Stash says, did we miss it, or did that happen outside of the official forums? Sauce Kevin, which he's been doing a really good job. Don't get me wrong. He's saying we're still working on this. It was not missed. We're making sure we work to address core issues overall. We'll have more info soon. However, come on, guys. Like, please, at least give us some information about these core issues. What are the core issues that you're referring to? Somebody else says, so any update on that focus on magic-based sorcerers we were promised? And, they're saying, just to clarify, the questions we'll be addressing around Combat Update 35. And then the Content 73, can you give us an example of what a core question is? Like, that is absolutely something we need to know, because it's true, because that's basically a term you're self-defining, and so we have no point of reference for what a such question would actually concern. And then somebody, Ketansa ESO says, well, extremely unfortunate that your Q&A won't actually comment on major issues, class balances and identity that we've been clamoring for answers on, or areas where severe deficits and sauce adjustments have been repeatedly documented but not actually addressed. But at least we might be getting something on how any of these changes at all are supposed to address accessibility. I really hope I'm wrong, but this is kind of looking like a Q&A isn't going to be an actual Q&A, but instead a PR stunt. It's true. It's true. Mr. says, I think a lot of the class changes should be considered a core issue. Take Warden, for instance. Some of the largest sweeping changes, complete rework of a passive, tying Destro directly to a class skill, several other heavy nerfs to the toolkit, but barely any development comments. And I really like the developer comments in the PTS, Some are good, some are like absolute shit. And he says, the number one thing we wanted a comment on from the Warden community, we got 0 comments on. Just seemingly random changes out in left field. Oh my lord. It's true. There's no developer comments. I mean, Sauce, I really do hope, those core issues that you're talking about, I know it's, to update 35, but like, please. The community is asking for it, so come on now. Now, here is a poll that Crash Test has done for make leads tradable. Players who like lead farming or trading can do what they like and earn gold, while those who don't like lead farming have one less miserable burnout farm grind to do, and we just can play what we enjoy. People are saying yes, make leads tradable, and somebody says, a couple of people said no, keeps leads untradeable. Um, Fanuv 17 ESO says, I get them all the time. My highest grind is like 4. I can't get myself to level the skill line. It's so boring. It's true. I have a bunch of epic and legendary leads collected, then expires in my playtime as I'll never reach a skill to actually put them to use. But to be honest, that is your thing of not wanting to level the skill. Like, I know it's so boring, but so is Mage's Guild, okay? Like, come on now. Well, maybe not on PC, but Mage's Guild is, like, literally boring as hell on console because we don't have the freaking locations. So, I get your point, but, like, we do it. So, all you have to do is just once, and you can, like, buy it from the store. Somebody else says, click no and then realize that'd be fine if you could trade them within a group to cover if it's a dungeon lead and you're doing it together, but wouldn't like them to be, buying on equip and be sellable. So I do agree with this. If it's like within a group, why not like let it, dungeon lead, that would be cool, or an arena lead, or a trial lead, make them sellable, tradable, something. That's cool. And then this is the best comment because I would definitely love this, and I hope they do this at a point in time. Yes, if not the leads themselves, then at least the furnishings you dig up from them. I'd gladly part with a few snow prince thrones or chalices of whatever the heck that is. I'm sorry, folks, I'm not a lore person. As for mythic leads, I wouldn't mind it, but I understand that some players will feel that the effort they went through to find is being diminished. As far as mythic items, I don't think those leads should be tradable, but why not make furnishings tradable from them? Like, that would be, if you're not going to make things tradable, make the furnishings tradable. That is definitely something to do. Like, make them being able to be sold or such. Do you know how many people would pay not to have to freaking go farm in Maverick the damn woodworking throne thing that comes out of there? Or, yeah, it would be cool. Not only that, but like the little wheel thing from VDSR that comes out, like the little like wheel that you can push back and forth. That's cool, right? Like, I would pay like 200k for that, to get a furnishing. It gives people in the game a chance to get some money out of it from the community. Like, why not make that tradable? And it gives another grind level to those players that just enjoy questing and get leads from it. So if anything, make them tradable. Ben TSG says, oh, by the way, this is Amig186 says this. This is a comment I would definitely get behind. Ben TSC says, I see no harm in making them tradable more so since most of them are just cosmetic other than the mythic parts. I get that. I can see why they want them bound though. Perhaps you would need to find something yourself first or the set of leads and get the item yourself first. And then past that point, you're allowed to trade the leads. Would bring a little economy to them too, perhaps, and allow some players to save time with the grind. Keeping it only to leads and not the item itself would also maintain the restriction of needing to own the content to follow up in the lead. Otherwise, you could get, say, High Isle antiques without actually owning High Isle. I mean, realistically, what harm is trading a lead for that lava egg you've 50 already? That's true. I mean, I understand that, but I still think the furnishings should be fine. And Messi says, I don't subscribe, so the notifications are just an annoyance. Oh, that's good to know. And somebody says, at the very least, let us delete them. My important leads are drowning in a sea of random leads I keep getting despite previously having like 5. That's true. Tashin says, needed another option. I wouldn't care either way. I give away some leads I haven't had a use for right now, and I don't scry dig those unless leveling antiquities and alts, but I wouldn't bother with selling them or hawking them in zone chat. I mean, that's fine, but others would. Then Sarana says, no, leads should not be tradable, as I feel players should actually play the game to get things they want, including mythics, but leads shouldn't be too grindy to get either. P.S. Can already see the chat filled with selling full mythic leads, only XXK gold. Should not happen ever. I agree, the mythic item leads, like the gear leads, I don't think should be sold. I think the furnishings from those leads should be the ones sold. So you're not selling the lead itself, but the furniture from it. So I agree. Tommy the Gun quotes Serana saying, yes, but on the other hand, I don't think that the mythic leads should be inaccessible either, and some of them kind of are dropping in places that many players won't ever do, like group arena and trials. I guess it would be all fine if we have multiple sources for every mythic. This would kind of stop the boss camping or node camping phenomenon we have had when there's a new mythic introduced. Players, in my honest opinion, should help each other, but the way many leads are designed makes it total opposite and creates very toxic situations. I agree. And to be honest though, they did change when the kilt came out. They did change the because they used to be water hyacinth and nernroot, and they did change that to any, or wait, was it water hyacinth? I thought it was, there was a change to make it to where it was like all alchemy, I believe, where it was just alchemy, no, like the water alchemy nodes and water hyacinth and nernroot. I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe that is the case. So yeah, I can see Tommy the Gun's point of view. You know, at least if you're gonna make it bad, make it to where like you can get it here or there, or I don't know, something. But to be honest, the grind is fine. It's a little bit rough, but if you want something on the first day, you're gonna get bumfuzzled with a bunch of people there the first day. Like, I've just recently got my Oaken Soul ring, and it's been whatever. But, you know, you should have to grind for that. If you want to lead that bad, grind for it. I understand why the developers did this, and while I agree it is a little bit of toxic situations at times, but I have seen people that group together and, you know, they turned the auto loot off and went into a node, you know, said no lead, okay, next person, no lead, okay, next person, oh, I got a lead, thank you guys. And then, you know, if they were finished, okay, dude, go pick up that node. You know, I've seen that. I've seen team environments be created as well. So while I agree, yes, it can create toxic society, sometimes it doesn't. So thank you, Tommy the Gun, but it's one or the other. And the next one is, would you like a trial finder? Oh. I could see this being really, really bad. I mean, we already have tanks, like fake tanks, in the dungeon group finder. So, I mean, I think this would be fine, to be honest. Like, it might not be a bad idea. Cadis, I guess that's, I don't know. For normal pugs or vet pugs, I'm suggesting this because I would. I usually prefer pugs as I find the guilds to be too strict and too regimented on when they run stuff and who they let join run stuff. I'm sure the common argument would be like, oh, but vet pugs always fail. However, if you can queue vet dungeons using a party finder, why not trials? The benefit of this to me would be that it allows people organize group content on a whim and independent of guilds without the confines of instances and using zone chat to find people. This means you could queue from any zone rather than having to spam Craglorn and guilds. I think largely solo players like me who shy away from guilds, this would be a welcome addition. I think this is a better alternative to people spamming Craglorn chat. I think it would also be a great way to fill a trial run with missing roles. Another downside I could see would be fake healers or tanks, but you get those anyway, even with dungeons. It's true, that's the only thing that I would be, you know, scared of, is the fake healers or tanks. I mean, yeah, you could, to be honest, I would agree, yes, for both vet and normal trials, but I would tell people, you know, like, caution that vet content with a grain of salt, because, yeah. Also, it would be cool, so let's say that you wanted to do a Craglorn trial, then it would be like you would have the dungeon, kind of like what the dungeon finder does, like random or specific. It would be cool if you could do like a Craglorn, random, and a DLC random. So it would be pretty cool for that. And this Azo says, by my experience, trials require way too much organization to really be viable for group finder. Group composition. The required group composition varies from trial to trial, and sometimes even on what you're aiming for. Usually it is 2 tanks, 2 healers, and 8 damage dealers. But Asylum, you might opt for 1 tank instead. In Cloud Rest, on normal, you might be fine with 1 tank, but on Vet, you need 2 to 3 tanks, depending on how many bosses you fight at once. Portal mechanics. Most of the trials have portal mechanics that requires 1 to 4 players to enter a portal and kill something in there, or else the group wipes. With finder groups, these would be destined to fail because, understandably, not all want to carry the weight of a pass or fail the whole group. Sometimes, even with normal Cloud Rest plus zeros, zone chat groups, the groups don't have willing people for the portal mechanics and too low of a group DPS to skip it, making the trial impossible. It'd be a disaster on Finder. I mean, it's true, it would be a disaster on Finder, but like, at least have it. Let them fail in there, specialized roles in tactics. Without organizing, how could the group finder decide on which healer is the tomb healer and which healer is the kite healer? The main tank, the off tank, and so on and so forth. Some fights require some specializations in the roles, rendering genetic rolling near impossible. Like, for example, in Locust Thief Fight in Sunspire, you want to assign 1 healer to the tomb, whose purpose is to heal players entering the frozen tombs, while the other healer heals the group and looks after the tank. The tomb healer needs to pump out strong healings. I agree, but like, here's the thing. That's something you can do. It can put everybody in the freaking trial lobby, and you guys can figure it out there. I mean, you have group text chat. On PC you don't really have actual group chat, but you do have group text chat. So, I agree. And this one says, normal trials and Craglorn vets rarely require any communication. Most of the mechanics can be easily done by random groups. No harm in adding more convenient options as opposed to standing in Craglorn and spamming chat. 2 tank, 2 healers, and 8 DDs is fine for all, but certain hard mode DLC trials, which you won't do through Finder, so this is the point. So this point is irrelevant. I don't know, I mean, people probably do it too, but I'm not saying it can't be done, but... And they also said all mechanics can be quickly explained through communication within the group if it's necessary. Same for assigning specific roles for each player. Craglorn pugs essentially have the same tools as Group Finder ones, and clearing all trials are normal with no troubles. Occasionally, even getting them done on Vet. Don't like it, don't use it. That's true. Tony Black, good choice. And this one says, yes, the only reason I haven't done trials so far, Kapachi, is because they require the immense amount of time to set up a group manually with using zone chat and waiting sometimes 2 hours or more to get all the players you need to fill if you're not in a guild specifically for that purpose, and with people leaving after waiting too long. If there was a trial finding, then I can finally do the only con in the game that I haven't had a chance to experience yet, and I'd rather enjoy that. This is what I'm talking about. Okay, folks. So I put this in the middle because I don't want you guys scrolling all the way to the end. But it's time to announce the contest winners for the housing contest. And the winners are... So this was a very, very cutthroat first and second place, folks. Like, oh my goodness. Like, the first place and second place was super close. One of the judges is the one that actually made the decision on this, because two of the other judges actually tied the first and second place together. So, lo and behold, in third place, Bostiles. In second place, TFT 51. And in first place, McPickle. I mean, folks, you guys need to kind of get McPickle to stop winning these, you know, to like have a little bit of diversity. But, I mean, McPickle, you're such a great guildie. She just, you know, made officer, and she is one of our social media coordinators. So, it's absolutely awesome to have McPickle win. But it was super close, guys. It was super close. Like I said, one of the judges was the deciding factor because two of the judges had McPickle and TFT tied. Their houses were that good together. And one of the judges says that had there been different categories, which we might add them in the future, then it would be like, you know, this house had a better courtyard, this house had a better theme, like the furnishing was better in this house than the other. Like, it was kind of a little bit over the place. But I can tell you, I am so proud of you guys for entering the contest. And, you know, you're going to get some money. So congrats to McPickle, TFT, and Boss for winning the housing contest. And, you know, hopefully you guys will keep entering these contests because we need housing winners. And if you are scared to enter the contest, folks, don't be. Like, it's fun and all. You know, enter the contest. We usually have a lot of fun with preparing. And the judges do love seeing what you're capable of. So it's pretty awesome. Thank you, everybody, again, to these housing contest winners. Thank you for participating. Thank you for getting the houses situated. I know some of you had to buy the house, so thank you for that. And you guys are awesome. And guess what? We are going to have a Christmas contest, so stay tuned for that. I might even have, you know, like a late Thanksgiving contest, but that'll be kind of like, I'll announce that next week if that's gonna be a thing. So a Halloween contest might actually be, or a Thanksgiving contest might actually be in the works, but if not, it'll just be the Christmas contest, which is gonna be interesting because it's not in the snow globe. It's not gonna be in the snow globe, folks. It's not like last year, so you're gonna be a little bit tied to a house, and it's gonna be a very interesting structure to get. So I look forward to seeing that because I already know what's the house is gonna be for the Christmas, and I'm excited to see what everybody that enters comes up with. So that's gonna be a pretty awesome thing. So now that we have that, we're gonna go back to, you know, more topics. We have 5 more topics to talk about. It's gonna be fun, folks. Monster Set Shoulder Piece RNG is ridiculously bad. Oh my god, I know. I know. BXR Lone Star says, the last 2 times I pulled for monster shoulder pieces, I've won a total of 140 keys. That is insane. And I still haven't pulled the armor weight of the shoulder pieces I need. To be more specific, I blew 85 keys trying to get Earthcore Epaulets light armor, which was the last remaining piece I didn't have from the monster set. That's 17 pulls to try to get one specific shoulder armor piece. I had the heavy and medium Earthcore pieces and all the Dommy House shoulder pieces. I did not get it. Fast forward to this weekend, I blew another 60 or more keys trying to get the Engine Guardian light. Oh my god. I had the both heavy and the medium shoulder pieces for Engine Guardian and all the shoulder pieces for Sentinel or whatever the heck that is. So surely I could get one, right? Nope. All 60 of my keys blown with nothing to show for it. Now, I love the change from the system where you spent 1 key to get a totally RNG pull for shoulders, and it can be from any of the dungeons that Pledge Master offer, to where you have 5 keys and you can narrow your selection to try that piece of a handful of dungeons. But the RNG is ridiculously bad, and it completely wastes the player's effort made in grinding out all those keys. A couple of things that need improvement here. I've said this in the past. And with Maelstrom too. Curated drops for shoulder pieces. Apply the smart loot system to the shoulder pieces so the RNG is weighted towards you getting the pieces you are missing. Increase the number of keys awarded for vet dungeon hard modes. It's only 1 additional key, and depending on which dungeon it is, the increased difficulty is not worth the extra key. Perhaps each dungeon should have a difficulty rating where the number of keys awarded for a hard mode completion 2 is multiplied by the difficulty rating, so the extra effort is more greatly rewarded. 3. Have a separate golden vendor tied to the Undaunted that will allow you to purchase shoulders for gold on the weekends. I know the golden already does this, but it's random whether she has the helmets or shoulders. And if you're looking on that particular shoulder piece to perfect your build, and you had crap RNG and pulling shoulders like I have, this gives you an additional chance of getting what you want. 4. Lower the prices of the boxes to just 2 keys per pull. This gives you 3 chances per day if you do all 3 vet pledges on hard mode to get what you want. Per character, of course. Or more Undaunted related events that give you potentially more keys for pledge completions in your first random. Bottom line is that I just think this is complete crap. That it takes too much time to accumulate enough keys to make a number of pulls to give you a good chance. Now, I've said this in the past with Maelstrom Arena and DSA and all that stuff. And Vaterstrand. There should be, like, Maelstrom, Vaterstrand, and DSA should have a key system to where, like, at the end or even in the beginning, you know, in the lobby where you get thrown at the end, you could have a vendor tied to it that it gives you, like, a specific one-hander or a specific you know, sorting board, or, you know, like a random sorting board, a random staff, like stuff like that. And then if you have like 5 keys, you could say, okay, give me that specific one. Like, I get the Maelstrom, you know, has curated drops, so it's a little bit less of a grind, but it also gives players, you know, a chance to get their piece they need a little bit quicker, you know. The shoulder pieces, that would definitely work for this, to have it to where, like, if you spend 10 keys, you can get that specific piece. It doesn't matter the trait, like, trait won't matter, you know, forget the trait, it doesn't matter, but have it to where, you know, they can actually pick the piece that they want from the dungeon. You know, 10 keys, that's, you know, that's a good grind, guys. Like, don't get me wrong, 10 keys for an actual shoulder, like, for that specific shoulder, should be fine. Like, that should give players, you know, a good chance. And it's not gonna create environments like this, because this is very toxic, too. Like, when you see somebody that has blown 140 keys, and they still haven't pulled the armor weight of the shoulder pieces they need, like, make it curated or something. Like, I do like the curated drops for the shoulder pieces. You know, I do like all of this. I really do. I really like all these points. Like, something. Like, these are all good points. These are all great points. You know, more Undaunted related events that give you potentially more keys for pledge completions in your first random. Like, your first random dungeon, like, you know, the random dungeon finder, like, have it give, like, 1 key. It doesn't matter if it's on vet or normal, like, just something. And and somebody says, never buy 5s ever. Spend your keys on 1s. You can get motifs, extra stuff to sell, stuff to decon, and you'll often use some of the monster shoulders too. I've not bought 5s of anything in years. I agree, but, like, you know, There's no need for more keys if you're doing pledges every day. I was back at 0 a few days ago. I'm back to 50 now. I've never had an issue getting shoulders using the ones. Yes, I understand statistics very well. Ones should be worse. There are reasons to buy ones, but I'm not covering in our forum post. And, I mean, I get it. You know, I understand. You can use the ones. I use the ones too. Like, don't get me wrong. PK Lemming, I get it. But, you know, this, maybe not the more keys, but like curated drops could be fun, you know? That might be, or even, you know, have a separate golden vendor, like, or put it in the golden vendor that it's like, you know, a shoulder and a helmet, you know, something like that would be pretty awesome. Next topic, transmutation geodes. Please let transmutation geodes of the same type and color stack. Oh my god, yes. You know, there's people in my guild, I won't name any names, but they know who they are, that have characters that are just there for transmute mules. They're just transmute mules. 3xb, please let transmutation geodes of the same type of color and stack. So annoying. I have inventory issues on all my tunes because of this. I know I can make gear in store or decon for mats, but geodes are an earned currency, and I like to save for a rainy day if I want to. And somebody says, Luke Jen says, stacking those would be sweet, but not holding my breath. Necrotech Master, I just want to put these darn things in a storage container or bank. But we can't because they are marked containers. Transmutes are already account-wide anyway. Why can't we store them? To get them out of the character bags. It's true! Like, stack them or something. I don't know. Dr. Khan says, I think they won't do this because they want to incentivize ESO Plus for people, which is still capped at 1k transmutes, but that gives you more room to work with than the non-ESO Plus cap. Also, if you could have unlimited transmutes, which is basically what you're asking for, except you're willing to give up a few inventory slots permanently for it, then people would stock up on them and never have a reason to do dungeons again to balance their transmutes, unless a new DLC comes out. Then they just get whatever pieces they can and use the 50 transmute options instead of the 25 recon, if you have the full set. It's very much of a game design issue, and I think they would need to pass on this, as some of the players who do dungeons every day for transmutes during their active period may stop doing them, and people may do trials less. To be honest, Dr. Khan, you make a great comeback for this. That's probably why Sauce hasn't done this. So, you know what? Touche. That's fine. Yep. Bottomless geode storage bag sign ESO Plus. No, because that goes back to the whole thing, you know. If they do unlimited, which is basically what you're asking for, then people would just stock up on them. Yeah. No, this is fine. I agree. I agree with their it makes sense, you know, it makes sense. They want to incentivize CSO Plus, and I get it. And to be honest, just craft the damn thing for 25 transmutes. Non-mythics, folks, non-mythics. You can't decon mythic items. And just do it. And then this say, please stop putting leads behind treasure maps, or at least give us a way to farm them. I'm pretty sure this isn't the first post ever since they put mythic leads for motifs, and now a lead for the skin map drops anywhere in the game. There's no dedicated loot sources. There are so many maps overall. The odds of finding a map for the new zone is really like finding a treasure. This just creates a map cartel. What? A map cartel? Prices now 1 mil per map. What? And now it's just a chance. I mean, it's true. We have like people selling high dollar treasure maps for like 50 to 100k. But folks, it's so easy to make money in this game. You can make 100k in an hour. Okay? If you really want to know how, like, we have Artea in our Discord. Follow her. She can tell you how to make so much money. She is very good at what she does. And I've put a bunch of chest farming routes that can get you that much money. You know, the Rothgar farming route, like, Pariah is still used in PvP, folks. Like, you can sell that for quite a bit. And it's not that hard to farm it. It really isn't. Plus, you can pick up nodes on the way. And, you know, I know Mother Sorrow is not as good as it used to be, so, like, that chest route is pretty much dead. But Silks of the Sun and, you know, Stonefalls, I posted that chest route too. Divine pieces of that still sell for like 5 to 10k. And, you know, Red Mountains is actually still viable. Not, you know, too many, but I've sold like Dagger of the Red Mountains, like that are sharpened or precise or charge for like 5 to 10k. So it's still doable, folks. And, you know, the regular like weapons you could sell for 1k. It's doable. You can make 100k. You can make 100k. And then keeping the treasure map. Why don't leads of treasure maps drop from reading books? This is awesome. This is awesome. Dr. Khan, I would imagine in reality that leads of treasure maps would be in bookcases or between the pages of books. Why is this not a thing? That is true. Why is it not a thing? Amonica says because it was not developed to be a thing. Well, no shit, Sherlock. Of course. And then Ben TSG, seen a lot of people that comment on stuff. Would it be pretty cool if reading a book had a very small chance of dropping a map or lead, depending on the location? I'm sure there will be other people looking for these intakes as well as us. So yeah, that would be pretty cool. Even if it was just a very small chance, you know, like reading a book. Oh, I get, you know, a Rivenspire treasure map because I'm over here in Rivenspire. Or like, I don't know about a lead, but a treasure map would be cool. Or if I'm in Cyrodiil and I'm, you know, in the Delve. Oh, Cyrodiil treasure map. Cool. Or even if it's like, it doesn't have to be like that zone. It can be any, you know, any kind of treasure map. So, and Raw Ryan says, I don't know. Anyway, says, why not though? Opal City says, it would be a lot more believable to find a lead in an old stack of books you come across in an abandoned dormer mine than, say, from the corpse of a giant snake. Unless some of the other trash loot, including something like half-digested adventurer bones. Then Primus Tiberius says, great idea, especially since some leads are only accessible by treasure maps. So this is, you know, pretty cool. White Crow says, this is a good idea. Sometimes book reveal locations, so why not? It's true. They do reveal locations. Why not tie a treasure map to it? Pelly412, would this idea only be for books you haven't yet read, or also include the thousands of books you read prior to Antiquity's system was launched? Dr. Khan comes back and says, it would be at any bookcase. The books themselves aren't integral to the suggestion, even though they open up upon use of a book, stacks, or a case. Books rotate, refresh from bookcases on a timer. There are some static books as well, but they don't change. Some are needed for quests or exposition in area. Each time you check a bookcase or stack, could be a chance of that lead dropping for that cycle. And El Borracho says, there's a lead that drops from reading something. The Pale Order Golden Band lead. People hated it because the note would vanish after someone read it, forcing other players to wait for it to reappear. Oh, I remember that, because you gotta, like, on the table. I remember that. Oh, goodness. But, I mean, this would be pretty good. This is actually a pretty good question. And it wouldn't take that much coding to add that to the game. I mean, to be honest, if you want to have, like, ESO Plus, you know, have it tied to like, the DLCs. I don't know. Something. That would be cool. And then the last one we're going to... Tom Stock on price fixing in guild traders. Tom Stock says, is it possible to revamp how guild traders work to reduce a single guild's ability to buy up all certain of an item, only to sell 100 Gs, creating a monopoly on that item? This has happened with past events, but I noticed it instantly with the Jester's Festival. As I was looking to buy the memento fragments, referencing the Tamriel Trade Center, which we do reference that on our automaton on Discord, but the pricing is based on PC prices. Some of the PC prices are correct with console, but some of them are absolutely not. I could see a single player or a group of players buying every fair price item and then instantly posting it for 100k upwards to 400k. This amounts to price fixing. Of course, they already do this, bro. And Lady Galadiel says, you need to be quicker than the flippers. I know it isn't fun, but it's all about being lucky or quick. I had this issue with a certain motif a few months back. One guy was selling the hat page from said motif for 700k when the average price was like 150k. One morning I checked TTC and saw it listed for 90k. Did rush in-game to the trader and got the page. It's true, you could, I know it's not viable on console, like you can't check TTC on console to see which trader, but on PC you can, so like, yeah. And then Comrade Ogilvy says, for some players the economy is their main end game. Just an observation, not a judgment. Maybe try posting wanting to buy requests in Zone Chat for what you think is a reasonable price. Tom Stock says, it would be nice if there was a willing to buy functionality in the guild traders. I'm referring to minutes. I would refresh TTC and it would already be gone at a listed at a higher price. And then CGT Gruff says, not gonna lie, I think there should be a special place in Heck for flippers, where every day they get a sales ad in their mail that shows all the things they want and need on sale for bargain prices. But when they go to the store to buy the items, someone shoves them aside just as they're reaching for an item, scoops up every single one of the items on sale, buys them, and then promptly sets up a kiosk outside the store to offer each of the sale items for 1,000 times the original sale price. Oh man. Corrigan says, every event or new content drop, there are players that try to take advantage of other players that need the latest items quick. First couple of days, prices for items new to the game are going to be high. Outrageously high. For most, by the end of the event, players are almost giving them away. Nothing at all wrong with trying to profit off players that are in a rush to get the latest items. That's, to be honest, that's true. Like, if you want the item before anybody else, then pay for it. Also, remember the price you see listed isn't always the price others are willing to pay. That said, there are other players that will list a few items really high, then list others of the same item lower, hoping to trick players into thinking they are a bargain. When buying, it is best to not pay attention to TTC pricing and just pay what you're comfortable paying or grind the item yourself. With over 200 trade locations, it is extremely hard, near impossible for players to control the market for more than a few hours. It's true, especially with gold mats. I mean, look at the price of tempering alloys in Drowax. Like, I did this. I actually price fixed Drowax like way early in the game with like 4 other friends of mine, and we brought Drowax from 2,500 to like 4K for a good patch, you know. We bought all the Drowax that was out there, but you can't do that anymore. Like, it's so hard. There's so much Drowax out there. It's not doable. Like, it really isn't. I understand some of these events, you know, they do it with the events, but let them do it. Like, grind the item or wait. Amonica says, pretty much this. I also doubt a single guild is buying up all the items. Maybe a few players, and some may happen to be in the same guild. Also, if the fragments are new items, yes, they will be hot. And yes, those posted for lower amounts will sell fast. Not always to the flippers. It's true! And Lady Galadiel says, I will just add, TTC page is not always correct. You may see some item as posted 5 minutes ago on the TTC website, but in reality it's been posted almost 2 hours ago, or even days ago. Best example is when I look for specific furniture pieces, TTC lists some recently posted for sale an hour ago, while once I go to buy the item I saw on the guild trader, the item was listed already for several days. This is why I say a good portion of luck together with being quick is needed to gather wanted items at a good price. I think some of the posted 5 minutes ago thing, if it's trader flip, that might be because, you know, they got a trader and they, you know, I don't know. That might be a thing. Irene says, I like to see proof of this concerning people like to claim keeps happening. Not once had a single person posted anything other than hearsay and an anecdotal evidence. With the number of guild traders and the fact that each one can have 500 members selling 30 things each is next to impossible for anyone to try and corner any market. And to do it regularly, do people realize just how much gold that would actually take to do? Like when I did the Drowax thing, I think we spent like anywhere from 2.5 to 10 mil gold when we did that. So like imagine now. The prices on new items will always start out high because people are impatient and want the new thing right away. It's like this with every new thing that gets released. They always start high and then they tend to crash near the end. Artea even says it. Like, she says, and this is like one of the things that she talks about. If you want to make money on an event, when you get that piece towards the beginning of the event, sell it. You know, if you can wait, sell it. Towards the end, go ahead and go buy the stuff. Like, if you don't want to farm it anymore, you can go ahead and go buy the stuff for like a really, really cheap price. Like some of those motif pages at the beginning of the event for the last Witches Festival, I think they were like 100k. And by the end of the event, they're like 20k. So you made an 80k profit, you know, after taxes and all, let's say 70k, okay? You made a 70k profit. You go buy the 20k page. Oh, you just made a 50k profit on a page you got at the beginning of the thing. So, come on, you know, like, be smart. If you really don't have to have the new thing, then sell it. Like, wait. I started doing that with the furnishing patterns. When they first came out, like, I was like, oh, I have to have every single furnishing pattern. Nowadays, to be honest, I just sell them, and then I went to get them in the writ merchant, because I have a ton of writs. So, yay me. I'd rather just do writs and get the writ vouchers and just buy the damn little folio pages. So, it's a lot cheaper. Plus, if I get duplicates, I just sell them. Not only that, but if I hit something like, you know, like the levitating gem, when they were out, they were like 500k to a mil gold. If I hit that, I would just sell it. You know, unless it's something that I really, really want and something that, you know, it's nice to have, I just sell it. So, anyways, folks, you know, thank you to our Cougar City boosters, Bostiles, Cougarisbae, Score and Music 09, X Reading X, Merc 271. On a note, X Reading X just won our Discord giveaway. So congratulations, Reading, for winning that. If you guys don't know, we do, you know, and just on Discord, we're doing giveaways every week. So if you want to be part of that giveaway, you need to be on Discord, and you need to look in the guild chat portion to participate in that. And that's only in Discord, so you have to be in Discord to do that. Now, in the game, we do have the raffle as well, so if you don't like Discord, you don't have to, and we have that for you. But the Discord, you don't have to pay or do anything. It's free. All you have to do is be in Discord and hit a button in guild chat. So look out for that. Now, if you'd like to support us, please check out our Patreon. We have a lot of cool things in our Patreon. Includes shout outs and such that we can do. We can make some cool items for you, and you know, you can even have a chat with our podcast team about anything you want. Make sure you guys check out our teams. You know, not only do we have weekly traders, we're donation based. Monday night events, Mrs. Fiddlepond and Donut scoring, head that up, hit them up. Like, they have a lot of fun on those Monday night events. PvP night scoring will let you guys know when those happen. And we have a beginner and advanced prog team. The turbo team still needs people on Friday nights. So if you are wanting to get into trials, or if you have a little bit of, you know, like if you know how to do trials already, but want to help out a team and grow with that team is the best place to start. Our advanced prog team, we are currently full, but we do look for subs. So if you are interested in being a sub for that team, you know, come and check us out. Hit me up. Hit Cougarisbae or JPY. And then we have Tales of Tribute. We have Tales of Tribute tournament. The next tournament is going to be around Thanksgiving, folks. We will have information on that on next week's Cougar Talk. So hopefully you guys will get that situated. Again, folks, thank you for watching. Check out our social media info. And, you know, just click like and subscribe on our YouTube channel if you haven't. We want that YouTube algorithm, folks. So thank you guys again. And have a good day.